The day I retired, I felt three things at exactly the same time: relieved, lost, and grateful. And I felt them all at once in the same sort of moment. And nobody had prepared me for that. Nobody had told me that the first year of retirement would feel like the most confusing, surprising, and honestly, the most honest year of my life. If you're about to retire, or you just did, or you're wondering what it is really like, then stay with me, because I'm not going to give you sort of the highlight reel version. I'm going to tell you what it actually looked like for me. And so the first thing is that the relief was real. And I want to say that clearly. I was done with the alarm clock that didn't care how I felt in the morning, done with the meetings that could have been emails, done with performing fine when I was absolutely not fine. The relief was immediate and it was physical. Like putting down something heavy that you've been carrying for so long that you forget it was even there. But then, about 3 days in, I sort of woke up and I thought, now what? And I don't mean it in a big dramatically, oh my God. I mean it practically. What do I do today? What is my purpose today? What or who needs me today? For most of my adult life, those questions had answers before I even asked them. And suddenly they did not. The lost feeling wasn't depression, and it wasn't regret. It was just sort of orientation, like walking into a room you've never been in before and not knowing yet where the light switch is. And underneath all of it, the relief and the lost, there was this quiet, steady gratitude. I made it. I made it. I got here. And that is not nothing. Here is what surprised me about the first year of retirement the most. And that is that I'm good at this. And I know it sounds simple, but I genuinely did not know that going in. I thought that I would miss the grind more than I do. I thought I would need the structure and the pace and the sense of being needed in that way. I do not. It turns out I am someone who knows how to be with herself, who can fill a day with things that matter without someone else sort of telling me what matters. That was a real discovery for me. And the other surprise, and I'm going to be honest, because that's about what this channel is that I started eating way too much. When your whole routine changes and the stress eating habits you built over a career, they don't just disappear because the career dies. You notice. I noticed. It was information, not a verdict, just information about what I needed to pay attention to. And retirement doesn't fix anything. It just changes the things that need fixing. So let me tell you about what nobody warns you about. The thing I learned was that getting a doctor on Medicare is harder than it should be. And here's what I want to say. The system is not set up to make it easy. And figuring it out in the first year of retirement, when you're already sort of navigating everything else, that was hard for me. But the hardest thing sort of caught me off guard, and that was a quieter kind of reckoning. When you're working, you're always moving forward. There's the next thing, the next goal, the next year. In retirement, I noticed something different. The numbers are going the other way now. Not in a morbid way, just in a real way. I have more years behind me than ahead of me. And sort of sitting there with that, really sitting with it, it takes some, it took me a little while. And it sort of, I looked at the clock going, so what do I want to do with this time that is here? I live on a fixed income. And I also want to name that too, because a lot of us don't talk about it. And that adjustment is real. The math is much different now. And I'm learning to live sort of well within the boundaries. And it sort of takes time to navigate all of that. But here's what I figured out by the end of the first year. Number one, I'm still a pretty strong woman. And I don't say that with arrogance. I say it with genuinely surprise, because there were moments in the first year when I wasn't sure, when that lost feelings sort of became big, and began to wonder what I was going to do. Um, and I wasn't as grateful, but I sort of worked through it, and I'm still standing, and I'm still open to change. But here's the thing that I really want to tell you pretty clear, and that is to start things sooner. Whatever the thing is that you keep saying you'll do later, the creative project, the channel, the art, the business, your community, start it now, and not when you feel ready, and not when the timing is perfect. I sort of wished I had done all of these things much sooner. My YouTube channel, my art studio, and it's not because I'm behind, because I don't sort of believe in behind, but because the joy I get from those things is absolutely real. And I probably could have had more of it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start. And that is what the first year of retirement really taught me. If you're in your first year of retirement or you're getting ready for it, here's what I want you to know. The confusion is normal, the surprise and the reckoning is sort of normal, and the strength that you find on the other side of all of it is yours. You have earned it. Welcome to retirement. So tell me in the comments, what surprised you most about retirement? Or if you've not retired yet, what are you most looking forward to or afraid of? I read every single one. Like and subscribe to the channel so we can have more conversations like this. I am Deborah. This is Still Becoming. I will see you next time. The day I retired,